Okay, and this says, you are standing on the former site of the Municipal Stadium, originally named Muehlebach, I can't pronounce that name, Muehlebach Field for Kansas City business owner George Muehlebach. It was built in 1923 to serve as the home of the minor league Kansas City Blues and the Negro League Kansas City Monarchs. Over the course of the Municipal Stadium's 49-year history, it served as one of the 7 different franchises: the Blues, the Monarchs, Kansas City Blues, Cowboys, Kansas City Athletics, the NFL's Kansas City Chiefs, the NASL's Kansas City Spurs, and MLB's Kansas City Royals. Originally only one level, a renovation of the stadium added a second deck in '55 that expanded the capacity to 30,000 in preparation for the MLB games with the arrival of the Kansas City Athletics, who are relocating from Philadelphia. Okay, guys, while driving towards our next location we're going to, I actually drove by this and I didn't know what it was. I've seen a bunch of bunch of displays, and this is where Municipal Stadium was, that where the Kansas City Monarchs would play baseball. So a little site dedicated to them here. We're going to go over here and look. Hope you guys can hear me. It's kind of busy traffic here. And here we have Amos Otis, and he played center field for the Kansas City Royals from 70 to 83. He was an All-Star in 70, 71, 72, 73, and 76, and a Gold Glove winner in 1971, 73, and 74. He utilized his speed on both offense and defense. Had a career batting average of .277, 193 home runs, and 107 runs batted in. Sorry for the bird poop here. There's a tree. On September 7th, 1971, he became the first player since 1927 to steal 5 bases in one game. He led the American League with 52 stolen bases that year. He was a crowd favorite as a Royals fan yelled "Ayo" as the slim center fielder star came to bat. He was the team's first star, but gradually yielded that role to George Brett by the mid-70s. This is neat. This is actually where the site where they played. I had no idea about this. So we'll go over here and make our way around. So this is where the Municipal Stadium would be, around this area somewhere. Okay. And this, of course, is the great Satchel Paige, which we're headed to a place right now about him. And that video will show us a lot more info, and I'll say a lot more info that I got about him, but you know who Satchel Paige was. He was one hell of a pitcher. And I don't want to go too much into him. You'll find out in my next video. I don't want to give too much information away. But he played for the Kansas City Monarchs and is probably one of the greatest players that ever played baseball. Pitching wise too. And of course, here's the great Buck O'Neil, which we're headed to another place too about him. And we were just at the Negro League Baseball Museum, and we just drove by this, and I didn't even know this is where the stadium actually was at one point. And this is John Thomas Wyatt. He was born in Chicago, Illinois, died in '98 in Omaha. He batted right, threw right. He was a relief pitcher. Otis Taylor. I didn't know Otis Taylor was from here. No, he's just one of the Chiefs players. He's one of the most exciting wide receivers of his era. He played in one AFL All-Star game after the 1966 season, 2 AFC NFC Pro Bowls following the 71-72 campaigns. Oh, some of this I can't read because of the bird poop. And of course, you have the great Jackie Robinson, who broke the color barrier in baseball and is one of the greatest baseball players of all time. And I believe he's the only one to have his number retired completely in baseball, but I'm not 100% sure. So the last person to wear number 42 was the Sandman, Mariano Rivera, and he retired years ago. I can't remember. 5 or 6 years ago he retired. And we have Willie Lanier. Another famous Kansas City Chief. And we have Bobby Bell, another Kansas City Chief. There's a Pro Bowler. There's an AFL champion, 66, Super Bowl champion, 69. He was the first Kansas City Chief to be elected to the Hall of Fame in 83. This is John Mayberry. He was a left-handed slugging first baseman for the Kansas City Royals from 72 to 77. Talks about the insects, and this talks about the Kansas City Municipal Stadium. Okay, so where we are would be right here. So they put roads in and everything. Wow, what a happy surprise. Among the famous athletes who played here were Leroy Satchel Paige. His last game was for KC Athletics at the age of 59. Other baseball Hall of Famers who were here included Hank Aaron, Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Phil Rizzuto, Jackie Robinson, and the Babe. I believe that's Jackie and Satchel right there. But yeah, this was a happy surprise. I didn't even know this was here, or the site even existed still. It's got, they kept a little piece of it alive. Let's see the timeline. Stadium opens as Muehlbach Field, named for George Muhlenbach, who owned the minor league Blues. In 24, the Monarchs won the Negro League World Series here. In 1937, ballpark was named Rupert Stadium, honoring Yankees owner Jacob Rupert. 1939, Lou Gehrig played his last game in a Yankees uniform here. Holy shit. That's awesome. Well, not awesome because of the circumstances of why he had to quit and retire. Ballpark renamed Blues Stadium. The ballpark in 55 renamed Municipal Stadium, and Upper Deck added. KC Athletics brought to Kansas City. 63, the Dallas, Texas football team brought here as Kansas City Chiefs.
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City! And this was the
Chiefs. 64, musical group The Beatles played in concert. Wow. 69, new Kansas City Royals baseball team played their first game here. 71, the Chiefs played the Dolphins in the longest game of NFL history on this site. 73, the Royals moved to the new Truman Sports Complex, which is where Arrowhead and Kaufman is. And then in 76, it was torn down. Wow, this was a happy surprise. I'm glad we stumbled upon this. More history and more things for me to learn. Wow. I don't know if it would be, the stadium would have been right here, or over in this area here, which I'd assume would probably be this area over here. Yeah, that's the way, yeah, because it makes sense, because this is the building in that picture, and then it would have been built that way. Yeah, you can just tell, yeah, where all these homes are. That's awesome. I'm glad I got to stop here.